Good evening from Nairobi, His Excellency the President and the First Lady of Sierra Leone, who meet with the Sierra Leone community in Kenya, Nairobi. Seated, as you can see, the ambassador on the high table.
Ladies and
government
gentlemen,
ministers. And as we await the arrival of His Excellency the President and the First Lady. His Excellency, the President and the First Lady.
And let's also welcome the First Lady of the Republic. You're welcome. So we go all sing the first stanza of the national anthem, and together we go. High we exalt thee, Ram of the free, great is the law we have for thee, family united, ever we stand, singing the praise of native land. We raise up our hearts and our voices on high, the hills and the valleys we echo our cry. Blessing and peace be ever the Lord, land that we love, our Sierra Leone. Thank you very much. This place is good. Your Excellency, sir, Madam First Lady, the Chair, Presidential Initiative of Feed Salon, Climate Change and Renewable Energy, Sierra Leone's High Commissioner to Kenya, Sierra Leone's Ambassador to the United Arab Emirates, the Chairman, Sierra Leone Community in Kenya, Sierra Leoneans in diverse fields in Kenya, good evening. Your Excellency, sir, you always don't put Salone and Sierra Leoneans at the core of everything what you do and imagine. From the 8 clusters in the medium-term National Development Plan in your first mandate, now to the big 5 game changers in your second mandate, you have put Sierra Leone and Sierra Leoneans first. And everywhere you have traveled, sir, you have never been too busy to see and interact with Sierra Leoneans. Your Excellency, even as we did in Kenya for the Africa Climate Summit, we're so intensive and you have a lot on your schedule, we decide to take time and see you people there. Your Excellency, we are truly, truly grateful, sir. May I, at this point, with honor, invite Madam High Commissioner to do the welcome statement. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. First Secretary. Your Excellency, retired Brigadier Julius, Maada, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Madam First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, members of the High Table, please allow the protocols set by the First Secretary before me. All protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, good evening, Karibuni. I'm very happy to see you here today. I know Senator I can't see, so I'm going to see me 2 weekends ago, so I'm not going to take too much of your time, but I gladly just make for day so this evening. I know say last year we get a small disappointment with the mission showed the responsibility for, but this evening, His Excellency the President, can't see engage with Bernard this evening, so I gladly hope we will take himself for joining me this evening. Adeaso as High Commissioner, as I know, I've done Adeaso for 2 years now, as appointed by His Excellency the President. And my role where they undertake will be profound honor, humility, and professionalism as in my own interactions with them. So I will not take up, as I say, too much of my time. When we meet 2 weekends ago, I highlight His Excellency's Big 5 game changers. As I know, the elections just gone on as Salon a few months ago. His Excellency don't start in 2nd term. But at this point, I will pause and not take up too much time, as I say, and give an opportunity for Leone listen to Dama Kayeviti. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam High Commissioner. Your Excellency, Madam First Lady, we get Sierra Leoneans in different fields this evening. I understand, say, we get students, maybe undergrad, postgrad as well. I meet a couple of them. But I also know, say, we get professionals and we get people that way. In fact, in the UN family, and I should say we get a number of business people. So we get Sierra Leoneans in different fields within IRTD, and Your Excellency has favorably noted that. Now, the honor at this point for give the floor to the chairman of the Sierra Leone community in Kenya for make a statement.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, retired Brigadier Dr. Julius, Maada. Your Excellency, the First Lady of our dear Republic, Madam Fatima, the Chairman of the Presidential Initiative for Renewable Energy, Climate Change, Food Security, Dr. Kande Yokela, Ambassador Rashid Sise, my former colleague and brother from Jala University College, Madam Ambassador Minata Isatubudu, fellow Sierra Leoneans. Fellow Sierra Leoneans.
Yes, sir.
With your permission, Your Excellency, may I talk to my fellow Sierra Leoneans in our lingua franca, please? This day now been wait for. This day has been long coming. It don't come. In the few minutes when I give me, I will make certain very, very, very points there. Known to with their president. Your Excellency, as you may be well aware, this community here present in history made a very significant contribution to this country called Kenya. Citizens before us contributed to the current formation of one of the most significant institutions of learning in this country, the Nairobi University, in the person of Dr. Sierra Leoneans have always performed by excellence, Your Excellency. And in our midst, we have students who are reading medicine. In our midst, we have students who are reading other fields of study. We have professionals working in different fields, in different institutions. We also have business people, etc., etc. Your Excellency, tonight, our message is simple. Because Kenya holds a very strategic position in the continent of Africa, by extension, it makes the Sierra Leonean community here strategic. And we therefore say, Your Excellency, with all humility, that we would like that strategic relevance of the Sierra Leonean community here to be extended back home to make a contribution to our dear country. In that regard, there are a number of considerations we would like to put forward tonight, Your Excellency. Our ability to transact business, for example, back home to make a contribution is actually facing a number of challenges. The opportunities for our dear sisters to transact business, to take their wares back to Freetown, is fraught with a number of difficulties, either trying to use the airline or shipping agencies. Your Excellency, we would like, through your office, to take that into account, to assist where possible, to make life much more easier for ourselves. The community here, like many communities outside our country, makes a serious contribution back home. One way that we do it is through remittances. But the remittances that we send back home to contribute to our economy, Your Excellency, a lot of it is taken away through charges. So eventually, the actual contribution that ends up in our communities sometimes are way too small, given the efforts that we make to make that contribution back home. Your Excellency, Kenya, as I said earlier on, has a lot to contribute to where we all come from. Technology transfer is one that I want to bring to knowledge, Your Excellency. There is a lot that we can transfer back home from this country. And I think that it will benefit us, even as we pay this visit, to participate in the discussions related to the climate change and the answers to resolving the climate problem. I think that one of the things that we can do is to look into how the agricultural sector here is performing and be able to transfer some of the ideas back home. Seed technology is one critical area. To have very good seeds of high yielding capacity. I think that we can look into that through bilateral cooperation, together with our compatriots present here who work for different agencies and make a significant contribution to Sierra Leone. We understand that through your Feed Salon program, you want to change the situation, you want to change the way we do business. We must produce what we eat, we must eat what we produce. We must produce what we eat, we must eat what we produce. And Sierra Leoneans present here in Kenya can make a contribution, Your Excellency. The other area where we want to bring your attention, Your Excellency, as our father of the nation, the young men you see in front of you there, especially to the left side of this room, they are really in the medical discipline. We need this capacity to go back home. In your first term, Your Excellency, you talked a lot about human capital development. Your Excellency, human capital development is here. It is here. All these guys a lot of us don't want to continue staying out of Sierra Leone. We want to contribute. So we are calling on you, Your Excellency, through this opportunity to ensure that this resource that is seated here is given the opportunity to make a difference back home. But there are a number of challenges. I am sure a number of them can be able to put forward the issues that is confronting them. To sustain some of us here is not easy. But we believe with your support to the High Commission here, a lot can be made possible, Your Excellency. So in this your visit, I, on behalf of the community, want to make this appeal to you through your office. As I said earlier on, people before us have made a contribution to Kenya. We think that it is now time for the reverse to happen. I talked about technology transfer, but I want to talk specifically also about information technology. Kenya is well advanced in information technology competence, and that is something that the Sierra Leonean community here is also trying to learn from and be able to transfer that capacity back home. How we can do that, Your Excellency, if we have the opportunity, we can bring more details into those conversations. As someone who is trained in the agricultural sector personally, Your Excellency, as I've said again, we want to make a contribution in that area so that your Feed Salon program will become a success, by all means. We also want to look into the area of education. In your first term, you amplified education as a very key element for transforming our country. The education sector here is well organized, is well structured, but we have ours that we also are proud of. How can we make a connection between this sector here and the one back home is something that we want you to look into, Your Excellency. Madam First Lady, we also know you champion Hands Off Our Girls in the first term of Your Excellency's tenure as President. Kenya has done a lot in that area. I am sure I need not elaborate on that because you are well knowledgeable in that field. But what we are saying is that how can we support our sisters here, as well as our brothers, to be able to take that program forward. So there are a number of things that we want to do. But we are fraught with a lot of challenges, and tonight, giving this singular opportunity for you to interact with the Sierra Leone community here in Kenya, Your Excellency, we want you to give us the opportunity to have a conversation with you, to let you know how we are struggling here in various ways, but how we can contribute even better to our own country. The time is now, it's our opportunity, and we want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak our minds to you this evening in a manner that takes the issues that are of prime importance to us. Once again, we want to request through the High Commission here that we foster unity and solidarity between the community and the leadership of the High Commission so that we can continue to work together. Over the last few years, we have had successful commemoration of our independence to bring us together as a community. Your Excellency, it is very saddening when we interact with Kenyans here, the first question they ask us, are you from Nigeria? So we have this struggle to explain who we are because we have our own identity as Sierra Leoneans. We cannot be assumed to be another nationality before we have the opportunity to say who we are. So that is a very strong element. We don't feel good about that because we know we have a sovereign country that is very strong and proud and that can do a lot more. So in those circumstances, it is very clear that we have a lot of work to do. But we want to assure you that as Sierra Leoneans, proud Sierra Leoneans for that matter, we want to continue to fly the flag of our country very high. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Chairman, Sierra Leone Community in Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, you can have 1,000 voices, but a woman can call you from the crowd. But when your mother calls your name from the crowd, you will recognize the voice of your mother. In this room, we are privileged to have a mother whose love